Hello everyone, thank you for joining me for another session on English grammar. My name is Electoli, faculty of Edufy, and here today we're going to talk about a very important topic, another important topic like we always talk about, that is the superfluous expression. This is very important in order for us to understand what is superfluous expression. It basically means addition of more within the sentence. Now, if I say more within the sentence, it might sound like, okay, that sounds unnecessarily a topic that is being touched that is unnecessary. Maybe we don't need it, right? However, superfluous expression means more than necessary. What does this mean? It means that there is a necessary requirement of a word within the sentence and you're using too much of it in that sentence. That is called the superfluous expression. Now, in English, we sometimes add extra words that aren't needed, okay? And this happens when we are not Americans, we are not Britishers, we are all Indians, right? So when we speak, we tend to use superfluous expressions in English, mainly because we are trying to translate Hindi to English, right? So that's where the superfluous expression comes from. So therefore, we have to understand that there are certain words that cannot be used together in one sentences, as it will make a superfluous expression. So let's take a look at those words. First things first, and that is the use of the word not. The word not cannot be used with some words, mainly because these already have a negative meaning. That means certain words already carries a negative meaning, right? In that case, why would you add another not in the sentence? That will what? Negate each other within the sentence. They will cancel each other out. Therefore, what do? Words such as until, unless, rarely, hardly, scarcely, barely, forbid, deny, and all these words, without, but, for, lest, all of these words carries a negative meaning. Therefore, whenever you see that it carries a negative meaning, you cannot use it with the word not. Let's take a look at some examples here. He did not deny that he had not stolen my watch. Now here in this sentence, what do we have? We have the word not in the sentence here with the use of the word deny. Deny means saying no. Yes or no? Deny means saying no. So again, you're saying not stolen, that he had not stolen. You're saying again that he said no again. So same expression within one sentence. This is another superfluous expression. So if you ever get a sentence like this, if you're asked to identify the error within the sentence, what do? You negate it out. You take it out. Because the word deny is negative, therefore you don't add another negative word. He did not deny that he had stolen my watch. Let's take a look at this one. Unless you will not work hard, you will not succeed. This word, we have unless. And in this one, you will. So one is negative, one is positive. This one is positive, this one is negative. So with the negative word, what do we see? The word not used here, which is wrong again. Why? Because it's a superfluous expression. I'm saying that when I say unless you will work hard, unless you will work hard, this what does it mean? It means that if you don't work hard, right? So it basically means negative. So why do I use not? It doesn't make any sense. So how will I write? Unless you work hard, you will not succeed. Now you ask me, why do I write not in this sentence again? Because you will is positive, so I can write a negative within that sentence. Why? Because it's not clashing with one another, it's not cancelling each other out. If you look at the next one, we have certain words such as back. Unnecessary use of the word back. When does it occur? When we have words such as recede, return, retract, retreat, withdraw, recall, and all this. What does these words mean? It basically means to come back. Yes or no? Return, reverse, retreat, withdraw, to take it back. So all of these words has a same meaning as back. Right? So again, if I use the word back with this word, it is a superfluous expression. He did not return back my watch. The word return itself is talking about what? Giving back. So itself, by itself, it makes complete sense. So I don't have to write the word back in the sentence. What do I write? He did not return my watch. That's the correct sentence. Okay. Next one. The river water receded back after the flood. Again, receded means what? Going back down, right? So what does this mean? This means that this one is wrong within the sentence. You will write the river water receded after the flood. So clashing with one another, take the word out. It makes a superfluous expression. Use of the word again. When do we see the unnecessary use of the word again? When we have words such as repeat, recapitulate, recall, reborn, rebuild. When you see the word re in the sentence, it means to come back again, or come back or again, once more, right? So whenever you see that word, that means you don't have to use the word again. Let's take a look at this example. I recapitulated the lessons again. I recapitulated the lessons again. So I'm saying that I revised, I took it out, I studied it again with the word recapitulated. Yes or no? So why do I write again here in the sentence? Does not make sense. So I can just write, I recapitulated the lessons. Next one, Ram was reborn. Reborn means to be born again, right? So the word itself means to be born again. So you're saying Ram was born again. If I write again in the sentence. Therefore, what do? Remove the word again and just write Ram was reborn as who? Krishna. So therefore, the word reborn exactly means to be born again. You don't have to use another again word in the sentence, making it a superfluous expression. If we move on to the next one, unnecessary use of the word more or most. Some adjectives are absolute. That means I think we all know the degrees of comparison that we talk about in adjectives, where we have positive, comparative, and superlative. Some adjectives known as the superlatives are absolute, right? They have no other form of comparison beyond that part. So therefore, they are also known as absolute adjectives. Now, therefore, they're saying that they can't be compared. So using more or most with them does not make sense. Okay, so let's take a look at those words that you have to watch out for. Unique, perfect, complete. Complete means what? Absolutely done, finished. Yes or no? So you can't go beyond complete. You can't be more completed, right? So therefore, you cannot use more or most with these words. Final, supreme, universal, impossible, excellent. These are all words that are absolute. So therefore, you cannot use the words such as more and most. Let's take a look at this example here. This is a more unique feature. Unique means what? One of a kind. Something that is not common by anyone, right? So if I say not is a unique feature, I can't say a one of a kind is more than another one of a kind. Does not make sense, right? If you're using the word unique, you're unable to what? Compare. So therefore, more is the error within the sentence. How will you write it? This is a unique feature. Okay, because the word unique is absolute, therefore you can't use comparative words such as this. You did the most excellent work. The word excellent itself is superlative, right? The word excellent itself is superlative. So why do I use another word that is superlative again? It is cancelling each other out. So this is grammatically wrong. How will you write it? You did an excellent piece of work. So these are some of the superfluous expressions with the word that is more or most. So keep in mind these words that you have to watch out for when you're dealing with superfluous expressions. Let's take a look. Using two words that mean the same, right? Like I said, these are all superfluous expressions. Some words already imply a condition, so using two together is repetitive. For example, suppose, if, in case, would, that, should. when it means, now all of these words can be used in conditional sentences, right? Now when we're talking about conditional sentences, they all mean the same thing. That means they are having some kind of if attached to that word. So therefore, if you use suppose with if, then it does not make sense. So therefore, they're saying that you use certain pairs of sentence within certain pair of words within a sentence, and if it is cancelling each other out or they mean the same thing, you don't have to use that within the sentence. Let's take a look. He is more faster than his brother. More faster than his brother. We know faster is comparative. What am I doing? Comparing him with his brother. Maybe his speed, maybe his writing skills, maybe his speaking skills, whatever, right? But I'm saying that he is faster. The word faster itself is what? Comparing him and his brother. So I don't have to use the word more in the sentence. What will I write? He is faster than his brother. So this is very simple, I think. Now, these are some of the questions that we can derive from the superfluous expressions. If you do get these questions in your exam, you will be able to, if you understand whatever we have discussed through this entire class, you'll be able to solve these questions. Let's take a look. First one, find out the error in each of the following sentences, if any. If there is no error, your answer is number 5. So this sentence has been divided into 5 parts, each sentence, okay? And you will have to find the error. Let's solve at least one question here. All the members of the board are kindly requested to appear in the next meeting, no error. So if you feel that the sentence has no error, you can choose this one. Okay, let's read the sentence again. All the members of the board are kindly requested to appear in the next meeting. Where do you think is the error? According to the superfluous expression, we cannot use the same meaning words in this sentence, and therefore the word kindly and requested means exactly the same. What is request? You're asking somebody in a very kind manner, yes or no? So therefore itself means kindly saying something, right? So therefore kindly is a superfluous expression. Where is the error? Number 3. The error is in number 3. Let's take a look at the question number 2. Pakistan's support to the terrorists of India should be universally condemned by all. Where is the error? Take a look at the meaning of the words. Pakistan's support to the terrorists of India should be universally condemned by all. What is universally? It means everyone, comprised of everyone, right? So therefore, the error is in number 4. All is the error. You just have to say universally condemned, full stop, done. Yes or no? You don't have to add by all, because universally means by everyone itself. So you don't have to add by all. So solve these 3 questions. Try to solve it. Within an hour's journey, we will approach near Patna. Is there an error? Yes. If you feel that the error is in option number 3, then that's the correct sentence, right? And what is that? If you are approaching Patna, again, what will happen? The word near should not be in the sentence. Near and approach means exactly the same. You're talking about you're approaching, right? You're going the distance to Patna. So you're approaching Patna already, so you don't have to write near Patna. So the superfluous expression is in option number 3. Let's take a look at the 4th sentence. Supposing if all your problems had been solved, what would you have done? That's the question. I think you remember in the 4th or 5th slide, in the last second slide, I talked about how certain sentences that means if cannot be used together. That means those pair of words. So supposing if is the error. Okay? Either you use supposing or you use if, but not both of them in the sentence, because they exactly mean the same thing, both of them. Okay? So therefore, if you want to write the sentence, supposing all your problems had been solved, what would you have done? That could be the question. Or if you write, if all your problems had been solved, what would you have done? That's the correct type of sentence, but you can't write them together in the sentence. The last one, let's take a look. When he lent me some books, he asked me to return them back. This is the sentence, me to return them back by the end of the month. If you can see this question, can you tell me where the answer should be? Where is the error? That is in option 3 again. If you take a look at the word return and then back, as we discussed earlier in our chapters, as we discussed in our topic, return basically means to give back. So the word back here does not make sense. So remove it and you will have a right sentence. So with this, we'll end the topic today. I hope you can join me again for another session. Have a nice day.